Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is now 7 p.m. Welcome to tonight's Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of Monday, August 3rd, 2026. Members of the Planning and Zoning Commission and the public may participate in the public hearing. All participants will be able to speak when called upon. At this time, I would like to explain the procedures to be followed during this meeting. The Commission has both a consent agenda and an agenda for consideration of individual items. The items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-contested. Item number 1 on our agenda, citizen comments, provides the opportunity for members of the public to address the Commission on items that are listed on the consent agenda. Each speaker will be limited to 3 minutes, and the Secretary will let you know when 1 minute is left. For all plats and plans conditionally approved or disapproved by the Commission, the applicant was provided a written statement of the conditions for the conditional approval or the reasons for disapproval. These conditions and reasons are not arbitrary. They are directly related to the requirements of Local Government Code Chapter 212 and include citations to the law that is the basis for the conditional approval or disapproval. For individual items to be considered, I will call the applicant or his or her representative to present the case. The applicant will have up to 5 minutes to present the case, which includes all persons representing the application. Then those wishing to speak in favor and those wishing to speak in opposition will have up to 5 minutes each to present his or her comments. The applicant will then have 5 minutes to answer questions or provide rebuttal if there is opposition. If there is a group with the same opinion, it is requested that a smaller number of speakers provide remarks on behalf of that group. Prior to speaking, please give your name and city of residence. Remember to speak directly into the microphone, as this hearing is recorded for the public record. Any handouts you wish to provide should be given to staff. Gina Costanza Grant will accept them. You are also welcome to submit a letter in writing or by email if you prefer not to speak. Applicants are not required to stay for the duration of the meeting and may leave once their item has been heard. The next Planning and Zoning Commission meeting will be Tuesday, September 8th, and we are now headed to our agenda. Claudia, has anyone signed up to speak on any item on the consent agenda?
No, Madam Chair. You may proceed.
Thank you. The next items are on the consent agenda. Vice Chair Lightfoot, would you please read the consent agenda for approval into the record?
There's 3 items on the consent agenda approval. First item is approval of Planning and Zoning Commission minutes of Monday, July 6, 2026. The second item is case 2025-147-PL, Anito's Edition minor replat located at 1303 South Irving Heights Drive. The third one is 2026-188-PL, Camino Edition minor plat located at 2410 Camino Drive.
Thank you, sir. And I'll accept a motion for approval.
So moved.
Thank you, Terry. A second?
Second.
Daniel, thank you very much. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Waiting for the equipment, folks.
What's that? I'm on it, but
There we go.
it's not letting me start.
All right, how about if we take a hand vote? No? You want to take a hand vote? Let's do a hand vote, folks. Please vote. Yay for approval. Hand raised? Okay. Thank you very much. Motion passes for the consent approval items. Vice Chair Lightfoot, now the consent agenda for disapproval items.
Madam Chair, we have one disapproval, and that is case 2026-22-PL Cordoba Estates, minor replat 4178 and 4182 Koala Nafel Court.
Thank you. We'll accept a motion for approval.
I'll move for disapproval.
Thank you. We have a second. Thank you all. Please vote. And the motion carries 7-0. Thank you all. Now we'll move on to our individual items for consideration tonight. First case we have is 2026-155-CP, which also has a companion case, 2026-12-ZC. Mr. Patel, we've heard your case in work session. Do you have anything new you would like to add? Or just be available if we have questions?
Either way.
Hey,
I can.
why don't you come down just in case? Thank you, sir.
My name is Chan Patel. I'm a resident of Irving. Since our last attempt to pass, we have made several improvements in the plan, and I would like to describe them verbally. First one is there was a suggestion that there was not enough parking spaces. So one of the commissioners had suggested that we get rid of volleyball court and replace it with parking spaces. So we did not do that. We kept the volleyball court, and we decided to reduce the number of units from 56 to 52, and we increased the parking space from 10 to 32. So we added 22 more parking spaces. Also, one of the comments was that specific variances were not pointed out. So this time, I think you have that. Then Dr. K's concerns about his easement has been resolved. He's very happy now, and it was our mistake. So we corrected that. We took the gate in the back, so he's happy. Regarding number of trees and shrubs and all that, now we have 10 large trees, 213 3-inch capillary trees, 3,085 scrubs, which translates to 29 scrubs per unit. Regarding open space, we have a total of 47,000 square feet of open space and 18,000 square feet of functional open space. And the dog park has been, the area has been increased to 1,590 square feet. So we have addressed all those concerns, and of course one of the concerns was traffic. So for traffic, at the entrance, now we have 2 lanes. One lane is for residents and one lane is for guests. And both lanes have stacking for 5 cars. So up to 5 cars, they won't show up on the windscreen. So that helps. And also we are going to give a automatic entrance to one guest of each resident. So each resident can identify that this is my frequent guest, so I need a sticker for him. So that will eliminate or make it less problem. And you know, the interesting thing is, first time this site plan was approved, we had 85 units. Now we are down to 52. And with those 85 units, we had only parking space for 10 guests. And it was approved, not only by your body, but also by the city council. So this is much better space. Yeah. So that's all I have, and I'm ready to answer any questions if you have.
Any questions for Mr. Patel?
Hey, Mr. Patel. You talked a little bit about your intent for it to be senior living last time.
Yes, sir.
Can you just describe maybe the parameters of that? And I guess, how do you intend to enforce that or make sure that it's actually senior living? If you could just talk about that a little
Okay, I'm advised that 80% of the resident has to be 55 years, at least 55 years old. So when we sell the condo, see, there is not going to be any rentals. So when we sell it, we make sure that the owner is at least 55 years old.
So you'll do that with a deed restriction, or you're just making sure at the time of that initial sale?
Not only initial sale, but I've not finalized it, but my idea is deed restriction would say that I have first right of refusal if you sell it, and that way I will control who is he selling to.
Thank you.
Just for clarification, the age and the regulation of the age is not going to be a zoning item. It will be private. Right.
So it is not part of this multifamily zoning. But the idea is for senior people anyway. But these days, 55 years is young. So
Anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the item? Sir, if you'll come down and give your name and city of residence.
Okay. Alfredo Ayala, I live at 142 East Holland Drive, and that is directly across from the proposed.
Sir, if
Can
you
you-
could speak into the microphone, there you go.
Alfredo Ayala, I live at 142 East Holland, and that's directly across from the proposed site. I have no major issues with the planning that's going on. I think it's a great thing. My concern, as it was last month, was the entry into that development. It's right on Wingren, which is the intersection of my front door. On any given day, for example, between 3 and 6, it takes me maybe 15 minutes just to get home from work because of traffic. That's one concern. Two, on some days, on my days off, I look outside and there's probably, on any given school day, children being dropped off, not more than probably 60 yards from the proposed entry. That's going to be an issue. There's a lot of school traffic. Big, dangerous thing. Of course, as we talked last month, the highway 183, in and out, off and on, congested, constantly, accidents. If you go by there now, the rail, around that loop around by the tracks, the rail is smashed in. It is smashed in. Danger about to happen. There's going to be threats of life. People can lose their life there. We need to do something about that entryway. It's not going to be beneficial to our community. It's not. It's just simply is not. I'm not even so concerned about the drainage that this community is going to bring. That's another issue that hasn't been talked about. I, for one, every time it rains, have to go out and rake everything, every trash, leaves, anything that's been dumped away from the drain because of potential flooding. If you go by there any rainy day, the green space behind the wall, there's flooding. That's standing water. There's just a lot of issues with the entry there. There should be a way that they can move that entryway onto 183. There should be a way. There really should be a way. He cut down on the units. A couple of more units would give him more parking and more entry in and out of that development. But again, I like the idea. I do have an issue with that entry. It is going to be a major headache for everyone. And I haven't even mentioned the congestion that we get anytime there's an accident on Loop 12 or 183, because they all cross from 114 down through what is Rochelle, up to the four-way stop and up on Wingren. On any given day, it takes you at least 15 minutes to get from the stop sign, the four-way stop, to the highway. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. So I really wish that they would reconsider the entry into that development. It's an issue. It's a big issue, big concern. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Herrera. I have a couple of things. You may not have been present during the work session, but the new plans or the revised plans that Mr. Patel has presented to the city have improved the entrance into the property so that cars will not be stacking up there on Wingren now.
They will be stacking up. I can guarantee you they will be stacking up. Once it's there, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be worse than it's ever been.
All right.
When they expanded the highway, they closed down every entry and exit to that neighborhood except Wingren. That was a big, big mistake, in my opinion. It has been issue after issue, accident after accident. If you all recall, the last time I was here, I mentioned that there's a car that jumped the curb and ended up on the other side of my headboard.
I do recall.
It's an issue. It's an issue, and it's only going to get worse. And there is also a park down the street. It's an issue, and it's going to get worse. If that goes by and you approve it, it's going to get worse. I can guarantee you that.
Okay. To finish my comments, though, that Mr. Patel did take your comments and your other neighbors very seriously. He did make a number of improvements to the plan, which should help.
It should help.
Not
It won't
solve, but
eliminate it.
help. And I know Nathan is here from Roads. He has heard the comments before. Nathan, do you have anything you'd like to add, or will this just be a continuation of your diligence to work with TxDOT, et cetera?
Nathan Bennett, Assistant Director of Traffic and Transportation. He is correct that when 183 planning, better? When 183 planning was going on, when they were trying to go through the schematic phase of designing this improvement on 183, the neighborhood of Nichols Park requested, and TxDOT went through and closed down the entrances of Britton Road, of Newton Park, or Newton Circle East and West. But all three of those were roadways that connected to 183 before the 183 project, and they were all closed down with input from the neighborhood of Nichols Park regarding access to 183. So that leaves you with Wingren and O'Connor to really kind of get into Nichols Park. In terms of what type of queuing that you typically see at a type of development like this, he is doing what he can to go through and get that queuing off of Wingren. Would meet what we would go through and look at in a queuing analysis. The driveway locations on 183, portion of the frontage on 183 is not owned by Mr. Patel. It's owned by his neighbor, Dr. K. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. And but the remainder of the frontage that he does have onto the U-turn, I'm not going to call it, it's not a frontage road, but it is a U-turn that goes from the eastbound 183 frontage road to the westbound 183 frontage road, does not meet the spacing that TxDOT would require for driveway access, and they would not go through and permit a driveway access with the driveway being able to be put onto Wingren. Did I answer all the questions that kind of got brought up?
Well, it's obviously an area that's a problem. I know
is.
that Streets continues to evaluate and provide support and direction.
It is, and it's something that we have petitioned the state to take a longer look at this. The state's going through its own funding issues right now, so they have limited funds with what they can go through and do. But we continue to petition the state to kind of look at this access point, or this driveway, not driveway, this roadway intersection with 183 Frontage Road. Tried to come up with a better alternative to what we're seeing out there right now.
Thank you. Anyone else who would like to speak in opposition to the case? Okay. Since there's no further discussion, I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for any further questions or comments or a motion.
I would like to thank Mr. Patel for doing these revisions. I do believe that this is having a senior community with 52 condos, I believe will be kind of towards the lower use of traffic that we can have in that space, and I do understand the concerns that the neighbor is bringing up, but he also has the right to build a property there. So if there are no further comments, I'd like to make a motion on Comprehensive Plan Amendment 2026-155-1CP for approval.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second on the comp plan. Please vote. And the motion carries 7-0. Obviously, Mr. Patel, this will go in front of City Council with our recommendation for approval, and that meeting's on August 27th. Great. And zoning case 2026-120-ZC, we have this as an individual item as well. So we obviously discussed the case at work session. We've heard from Mr. Patel as to his many improvements on the zoning case. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of this item? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition to the item? Seeing none, I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
If no further comments, I'd like to make a motion for zoning case 2026-120-ZZ, recommending approval.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Congratulations. At long last, I'm sure the City Council will be very happy to see you on August 27th. Your motion carries 7-0. Thank you, sir. Our next item tonight is 2026-132-ZC. Is the applicant present? Thank you. If you'll come down. We heard your case during work session. If you have anything you'd like to add, I think I saw you there. I don't know if you had anything new to add or if you'd like to introduce yourself with your name and city of residence.
Yes, my name is LaShelle Rita. I'm with Shell Corp out of Arlington. I'm here to represent Gregory Skinner, the owner of 1701 Landmark Road. We are asking for the variances that are on the, We are asking for the 3 variances on the agenda today. These were all existing issues, or they were not issues at the time. When the property was purchased in 2019, they were existing. We don't have access to any construction plans for the original site. All we have are photographs that show the existing restroom and sink that are on the first floor, as well as the sink that is on the second floor. So that is our case.
Thank you. If you'll just bear with us, and we'll see if there is anyone else who would like to speak. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone in opposition? Great. Is there anybody? I'll close the item to the floor and bring it back to the commission for discussion or a vote. A motion.
I have a question for the applicant. Y'all did not pull building permits. What was the reason for it?
The existing plumbing was used. Nothing additional was put in. Only the fixtures changed on the first floor. I don't believe that the homeowner I believe that the homeowner was in his right mind, that he was using the existing items that were there when he bought the property, and he didn't think that permitting was needed. I wasn't pulled in until much later, and alerted him that this could be an issue. But again, everything was existing. I think the homeowner had every right to do what he
You
felt.
were there during the work session
I was, yes.
and heard that in 2019, the pictures that show the garage did not show all the other items, existing plumbing?
I don't have access to those photos. I didn't see the original photos from 2019. All I saw were the photos at the work session from the Airbnb listing that were pulled this year.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else have questions for Ms. Rita? Thank you very much. I'd like to close the item to the floor, return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
I'll probably just like to offer a few thoughts on this. I mean, I think this is a kind of case that we need to set an example for, where an operator, owner, applicant hasn't followed the rules for even after multiple times of the city contacting them and letting them know that they shouldn't be conducting their Airbnb business, or having constructed this, converting the garage into livable space when they were not supposed to. So I will be voting for denial on this case.
Well, I'll just add to that. I think even absent the what we've heard are communications about the use, I think this would have been a tough case. Even absent that, we've had several cases related to ADUs or structures that are separate from primary dwellings, and I think that the direction, at least that I see from City Council, is that we're still looking for clear direction on those, and they're generally, I think, disfavored, particularly in consideration of parking and, maintaining the integrity of single-family dwelling neighborhoods. So for those reasons, I can't support it. So with that, unless there's further discussion, I'd like to make a motion on zoning case 2026-132 ZC, recommend disapproval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Yeah, and Ms. Rita, the motion fails, it passes with a denial, recommendation of denial to City Council, 7-0. So this is not the end of the road, but the case will go for final vote by City Council, and you will want to be present at their August 27th meeting. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We have a next case, 2026-195-ZC. Is the applicant present? Okay. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Sir, if you'll come down and give your name and city of residence. And just so you are aware, we are postponing this indefinitely, but you're here and we'd love to hear your comments.
Okay. Well, this is for my father-in-law. Is this for zoning case 2026-195ZC?
That's correct.
So could I go ahead and speak?
Please.
So he's against it. He strongly opposes the proposed duplex development next to his residential property. He states that he already lives by a busy car wash, which creates a significant amount of traffic, noise, and activity in that area. Adding a duplex would increase the noise and activity in the area, such as the congestion, parking, noise, traffic, would negatively impact the quality of life and character of the area that he's lived in. He states that he's lived there for over 25 years. And he would be okay with having a single-family residence home, not a duplex. So he just wants that on the record.
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Oh, sorry, Adrian Noria.
Adrian what?
Noria?
Noria. Okay, thank you, sir. We appreciate the public comments. The case will be postponed indefinitely.
Okay.
They will be renoticed if the case comes back to us for a vote.
Okay.
So your father would be aware and would receive
Okay, so
a
he'll receive something in the mail?
So
Okay.
for now, it's postponed
Okay, perfect.
indefinitely. It will not be moving forward.
Okay.
But we do appreciate your coming here
Awesome.
tonight to offer your
Thank you.
comments. Thank you, sir. Any further people who'd like to offer any comments in opposition? Okay, I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
I'd like to make a motion for zoning case 2026-15195ZZ be sent to city council indefinite recommendation, indefinite postponement. It won't city council, okay. Just a motion for indefinite postponement.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. We have a motion, a second. Please vote. Okay, so the motion is passed 6-1 for an indefinite postponement. Moving on to our next case on the agenda is zoning case 2026-203-ZC. Is the applicant present? If you'll come down, sir, and give your name and city of residence. We did hear your case during the work session.
No.
Were you present at the work session?
No.
Great. Well, we did hear it, so we appreciate your coming tonight. Would you like to offer any remarks about the?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, thanks.
My name is Khalid Mike Saif, owner of the 1310 West Pioneer Drive. So basically what we did, and there we purchased a property. It was an old Sonic station, and we tried to turn it to a sit-down restaurants. And we did apply for all the permit from the city, and which is the zoning was, I think, was SP1, and they won't allow us to do what the sit-down restaurant for the neighborhood. So they required to go to city council for the approval for it. That's why we did apply for it, and we're here right now.
Thank you very much, sir. If you'll just bear with us for a minute, we'll see if there are anyone else who'd like to speak.
Sure.
Anyone who would like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone in opposition? Thank you. I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
Thanks.
I have a question for you, sir.
Yes.
Are you planning on adding on to it, or are you trying to convert the existing building into sit-down?
We tried to convert the existing building to sit-down restaurant, a little bit sitting area for the people to come and enjoy their meal. And that's a 1,704 square foot building, which is we did for almost 30 to 40 people can sit down inside. We accommodated the kitchen areas and the sitting area and the floor plan, and that's what we try to do. Just basically use the same building and the same parking lot and everything, just renovate the whole thing.
You have a floor plan with you that shows the
Not
layout?
with us, but we did submit it to the city.
Okay. You submitted it to the building inspections?
Yes.
Okay.
We did the floor plan, the site plan, everything to them.
Okay.
Yeah. But they approved some of those permits for us, but they're waiting for I think the plumbing and
So you're looking to put it where it sets maybe 30, 40 people?
yes, that's all. Yeah.
Okay. What type of restaurant?
It's going to be wings and like a burger and tacos and stuff like that. So.
Okay. If there's no other further comments amongst the commissioners, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion for approval and send it to city council.
Second.
Right, we have a motion and a second. Please vote. Congratulations. Motion passes 7-0, so it will go to the city council with that recommendation for approval, and you'll want to be at the August 27th meeting where they will make their final vote for you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Okay, we have two items that are what I would call companion cases, Comprehensive Plan Amendment 2026-229-CP, and the zoning case 2026-208-ZC. Is the applicant present? Yes. Mr. McKay, if you'll come down and give your name and city of residence.
My name is Eric Mackey, and I live in Dallas, Texas.
Great. You were there during work session when we covered this.
Yes.
So is there anything you'd like to add about the project or answer any questions that we might have posed?
Yeah, I'm here just to answer any questions you guys might have.
Great. Anyone have a question? He did have a comment during work session.
You had a comment you were going to talk during work session. What was that comment?
I believe it had to do with the private restriction.
The deed restriction.
I thought it would, maybe it did. So there is a POA that a lot of properties in this area are members of. They think that we're a member, and we feel pretty certain that we're not a member of that association. But we'll have to work through that with them, at some point in the future.
Are you planning on building like the future plan? I know they said you're not moving forward with it. You're just trying to get the zoning for it. Are you planning on moving, like doing flex warehouse, or where you got like offices in the front, warehouses in the back, or are you planning on going to the back and building metal building structures for storage, or what's your thought process?
If we redevelop the site, or part of the site, I'm too close to the microphone, we would do a very modern tilt wall development that would really be focused on distribution.
Okay.
That's to say, it wouldn't be, to me, a flex property is part office and part industrial, and I don't envision that we would pursue a development like that. And it may help to give you a little bit of context about how, where the property is now and the timing of a possible redevelopment. So we bought these two buildings in 2019. COVID hit in 2020. Our timing was perfect. The building that's located on the southern part of the site, and there's two plats there. On the southern plat is 4790 Regent. 4790 lost most of its tenancy. We've recently released that building to a tenant that's currently building out its space. So that'll be a single-tenant office building for at least 10 years. It has a 10-year lease with a couple of renewal options. They're investing a lot of money in the building on top of what we're investing in the building. So if that ever becomes redeveloped, it'll be far off in the future. And I will say that particular building, since this is an odd site, so that building actually sits on land that's currently zoned ML20, which allows for the two-story office building that currently exists and would allow for an industrial property if you ever wanted to do that in the future. The other building which is 4800 Regent, is on the northern, a little bit more than half of the site. It's 95,000 feet versus the other building that's 57,000 feet. That building is,
Sir, you have 1 minute.
okay, I'll be quick. That building is leased 80%, I would say, to a tenant that has 4 years left in its lease. It's operated as a nursing school. We don't know whether they're going to renew or whether they're not going to renew. So why are we here? We would like to have the optionality to develop industrial on that particular site in the event that that tenant does not renew its lease. With all that context, are there any other questions?
Thank you, Mr. Mackey. Mackey or McKay?
It's Mackey.
Mackey, thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition? I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
I'd like to make a motion on Comprehensive Plan Amendment 2026-229 CP, forwarded to City Council for approval.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second for approval. Please vote. Thank you, sir. The comp plan amendment passes 7-0, and it will go to City Council for their final approval on August 27th. We will move to the second case, the companion case, which is 2026-208ZC. Anything further you'd like to add from a zoning perspective? Thank you, sir. Anyone who would like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone in opposition? I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
Madam Chairman, I'd like to make a motion for zoning case 2026-208ZC be forwarded to City Council with a recommendation of approval.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And the motion passes 7-0, so please have either yourself or the developer there on August 27th in case council has any questions for you. Thank you, sir. Appreciate your time tonight. Zoning case 2026-209-ZC, Mr. Dewey.
Good evening, Commission. My name is Jim Dewey with JDJR Engineers, 2500 Texas Drive, Suite 100, Irving, Texas. I'm here tonight in behalf of the property owner that wants to build a small neighborhood-serving commercial building, multi-tenant. This is a small piece of property, and the building will obviously be small as well. It's currently zoned for office only. Neighborhood-type commercial is often located on the intersections of major arterials, which both of these streets are. All three other corners are already zoned for commercial uses. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions, and I respectfully request you follow the staff recommendation and recommend approval.
Question for you. On this site slopes very heavily. So is this going to be a stair-step development? Is you going to backfill and put up retaining walls? What's y'all's thought process on this?
We haven't done engineering plans yet, of course, but we certainly have looked at it. This is extremely steep. This is probably one of the steepest places in Irving. It's difficult to develop. We'll be doing probably a combination of both. Stair-step development with retaining walls. It's not going to be an easy site. It'll be expensive to develop.
but it is doable. Doable.
It's doable. Very doable. Certainly not impossible. It probably
gonna
will
be-
require some tall retaining walls.
It's going to be a very expensive development, especially if you got to stair step it, because you're going to take your buildings and you're going to have to offset them as you're going down. And then the drainage is going to be a major issue on it also.
Well, fortunately, there is a large storm drain system at the rear of this property that we can tie into. All the drainage will go to that point. There was plans for this overall property done many years ago. It was a residential development, but they saved this hard corner for a commercial. The residential development never happened, mainly because that little bit of creek that's left through that property, even though there's very little of it left north or very little of it south downstream, is considered jurisdictional water, so it's under federal protection, so it may not be developed for some time.
Mr. Dewey, it may be really tough to do, but if you get it done, I commend you for that project, because it would be, I think it's going to be hard to do, but I'm sitting there looking at it going, restaurants and.
Well, you know, the intersection is the high point, and kind of the street slope from both directions. We did a preliminary layout with the building made up close to the street, and the parking on the west side of the building. We would have a large retaining wall along the utility easement along both streets, going down the building, and then the parking lot would have another retaining wall on the far west end to support the parking lot. So you'll have a big cut kind of close to the intersection, and then a pretty big fill on the other side of the lot.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone who would like to speak in opposition? I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for discussion or a motion.
Madam Chairperson, I'd like to make a motion, the forward zoning case 2026-209CC to City Council with a recommendation for approval.
I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. Mr. Dewey, City Council, see you August 27th with our recommendation of 7-0. Thank you, sir. Lastly, 2026-211-SFP. Is the applicant present? Would you like to offer any remarks to the commission? We heard your case during work session tonight. So we may have some questions for you.
He's going to be the one to answer those.
No problem. If you'll give your name and city of residence.
Deborah Kitchens, Irving, Texas. I'm trying to get a new fence because the one I have has been there for, well, let's put it this way. The home was built in like 64 maybe, and it's a chain link fence. It's about had its time. It's about ready to go. I'm a recent widow, and I'm looking for a little bit more security, privacy, that kind of thing. And I would just like my fence to start where it is now, but apparently that's not going to be the case if this is what happens. So that's really all I have to say. So I'm going to put him up here now.
Thank you.
Because he can answer the technical questions.
Thank you.
Question?
Give your name and city of residence.
Toby Pence, Irving, Texas.
Pence?
Pence, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Question for you. Are you willing to cut that back corner 15 feet by 15 feet and 45 it?
I'm willing to. Prefer not to because I think it's hasn't presented any issues. And there's vegetation there already in the view potentially. There's been no issues with that. I think there's only one house affected, but I'm willing to if.
You're willing to accommodate the?
Yes.
The house there? Okay.
What you're proposing is just to replace the current fence in the same spot. You're not,
Exact same spot.
not
Yeah.
talking about moving it out further or anything like
No,
that.
no, same fence line.
Okay, any further questions?
I would also say that the current resident there has had no issues with sight lines or anything like that. Yeah, behind that would, the only house would be affected by that, so. It's not like it's on a public, busy corner, so I'm willing to accommodate, but,
But you'd rather not?
rather not, yes.
Because then you'd lose part of the yard.
Yeah, right.
I've lived there 43 years.
Yeah. And nobody would then be using that part of the yard. You just
Yeah. it'd
mow
be-
it and nobody
yeah,
would use it.
just mowing, dead use, so.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Pence. Is there anyone, we have to do this officially, is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor of the item? Anyone who'd like to speak in opposition to the item? I'll close the item to the floor and return it to the commission for further discussion or a motion.
I mean, I understand Ricky's point about the sight lines. This particular property, I don't see that as being a big issue here. And normally, I've been completely on board with you on that one. But on this one, I'd say just let the fence stay the same way that it was. That's my recommendation. Unless anybody else wants to speak, I'll make a motion to that effect. Okay, we'll make a motion to forward 2026-211-SFP to the City Council for approval.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And Ms. Kitchens, you may place your fence there in the exact place where it is now, so the motion carries 7-0.
City Council.
Yeah, I know. It does go, it goes to City Council with our recommendation of 7-0, and they will see you on August 27th for the final vote, okay? Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, wait a minute. 7:53, adjourned tonight. Thank you.